Today is May 17th, 2016, back with the Stocks to Trade trade recap for you. Got a handful of stocks, but there really is only one stock to talk about today. Few days, you almost have to know about MGT. This is a John McAfee is the founder of McAfee has got involved in this. We initially alerted that. You can see there's just news all the way across here. Excuse me, in Stocks to Trade, and we had alerted this way back kind of last week. I think the first time was, it was already up from I think roughly 30 cents. We'd alerted it like the 70 or 80 cents when the McAfee involvement came, and you can see it's just been vertical since then. And today it really went, what most guys would prefer to refer to as parabolic. Okay, we got that move through 4. And that was kind of a whole dollar amount that a lot of guys are watching. It's a new level. And you can see once it touched 4, it was a straight line to 5. Now it topped out at 4.98, didn't quite touch 5. But you can see that the momentum was there once that $4 amount hit. And you can see the volume came in here, just really ripped. And then these stocks are always the dangerous ones to trade short, but there are opportunities. You can see once it failed $5, you could be watching the sentiment on Twitter and other places. You can see a lot of shorts were getting biased there, and it pulls back and then, came all the way back to under 4. So you basically got a $1 rip and a $1 pullback. Then went sideways a little bit, tried pushing into the close, and then pulled late day. So these are, the volatile stocks that are great to find and they're great to trade, but you always have to have a plan and you always have to have bulletproof risk management. Okay, if you pick a stop on your trade, and you have to stick to it on these type of things. Now, again, if you use proper risk management and you attack key price levels, and the potential rewards are there. There are huge rips on this, so you can really tell that again, a lot of guys have gotten short bias on this. But if you look at the longer term chart, I mean, it's still trending up. Can it continue the run? Very iffy. You can check the news in Stocks to Trade. A lot of hit pieces coming out now, which, if you're not familiar with, the hit piece is a very negative report. These would be very key to read, especially after hours when you're doing your prep work, and it's all right here. You've got the news, you got the SEC filing. So read up on MGT before you make a decision. Gonna move on from there just for brevity, but MGT, I'm sure, will be back in play tomorrow. Second stock is CCXI. We had alerted this as a potential short last week, and this kind of rip up into some sort of conference appearance. And, it's a little choppy, but you can see today it really kind of gapped up a little bit, and then gapped up and then faded and pretty much closed on the low of the day. So often with these penny stocks, again, you have to use your risk management, but often on these, when you've got, just conferences or fluffy type news, once that event is over, you can start looking to short sell, and that's what's happening with CCXI here. The other kind of opposite play of MGT is GSAT. So this was another quote, it's trendy anymore to talk about these billionaire plays, okay? So this went up last week big, was halted on what appears to be a favorable FCC ruling. Then it kind of started its fade, and then late last night it was announced that Greenlight Capital, David Einhorn, had a stake. So it shot up after hours, but then really kind of fizzled off. And again, do your due diligence, do your research, but it appears that this is a very small stake. It may be a potentially smaller stake than was originally thought. So there's opportunities to short sell in these, especially if you can find catalysts where traders and where the momentum misinterprets the news. So GSAT should be in play tomorrow as well. Should be an interesting one there. And then the last one this was a little bit more of a longer term play, but MOMO, again, we'd featured this last week on our posts as well as the YouTube channel. They were going into earnings. It's very, very seldom is it ever recommended to hold into earnings, but then they came out, I believe we can look. So early this morning, there was a little bit of a rip. It kind of based back, and then you can see you've got consecutive green candles up, 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 and it pretty much closes almost on the high of the day. So once you let that news come out, you see a base, and this was a pretty solid buy, and it looks like it could continue to move up. And if you zoom out on the chart, you can see a pretty, there's room for this to go. It was a $16 stock, a $20 stock not that long ago. So again, a little bit longer recap today, but MGT is by far the most interesting stock, and we'll be back tomorrow talking about it again, I'm sure. Thanks a lot.